It's been a day in the making. It's been a year in the making. The upper bracket finals are Method Black from Europe against Method Orange from North America, the only two teams that have been undefeated so far at BlizzCon 2018. And in this series, we will be deciding our first grand finalist for BlizzCon 2018. Could not be higher stakes here. Both these teams have shown why they're the best in the world, and we can have a little look at their journeys to get here so far. Method Black, I have been talking about this team. I've been talking about non-stop throughout the year, but Method Orange as well. They've had their ups and downs, but they've been consistent at the end of the BFA. Now in North America, both these teams, in fact, coming out as #1 in their region, and you can see they've been on a collision course since the very start.
Yeah, these guys have been the most dominant teams in their regions. Method Black took down 5 cup wins as well as a LAN tournament win over the year. Method Orange not far behind, winning so many cups as well. They didn't have a great placing in that spring and summer finals, but here at BlizzCon so far, they have not even dropped a map against teams like Skill Capped. They're literally going against the best team heading into this tournament, Skill Capped, that in our at least analysis was the #1 seed. They didn't even drop a map against them. These guys are so scary, and this, in my mind, would have been the grand finals, and it could still potentially be.
Yeah, it could well still end up being the grand final. It's also funny to notice that the 2 European teams they've knocked down are the 2 European teams that are still in the competition with Making a Movie and Skill Cap right there. We can also whet our appetite a little bit for some of tomorrow's series. Got Gosu Crew against Making a Movie, Skill Capped EU versus Pen and Paper. Some of those teams have been knocked down by the teams that we will now be watching in this series. This is going to be the one to watch though. Method Black against Method Orange. Neither of these teams have lost a single series at BlizzCon this year. Both of them are getting from strength to strength. Method Orange, they're at the strongest they've ever been in a LAN environment.
Yeah, they have been utilizing that Moonkin Demon Hunter Restoration Shaman setup as well, actually bringing in a few surprises for BlizzCon with Mez on that Demon Hunter. We'll have to see what they have in store for Method Black. I think this is another one of those matchups that might come down to the blind pick. What is Method Black going to run? What is Method Orange going to run? That is the question.
I'm gonna have so much fun here because I'm gonna ask everyone to predict who wins this series. I love it. It's the best part of the job, honestly. We'll start with Zico since you just talked.
Oh.
Thank you.
Zico, who wins the Battle of the Methods?
Why are you gonna throw me under the bus like that?
I know what you'll say.
Answers, you know? But I'm gonna say, I think actually heading into this tournament, Method Orange seems to have done their homework. Method Orange has so many different compositions available to them that Demon Hunter, Boomkin, Rest Shaman is a great answer to the Turbo Cleave that we've seen from Method Black. And at the same time, if we see Method Black try to run something like the RMP, we know that Method Orange has a couple of tricks up their sleeve that they could potentially implement to try to burn that Discipline Priest mana. I mean, the blind pick is going to be huge, like Elliot said. I think if Method Orange picks the Demon Hunter, Boomkin, Rest Shaman, and Method Black calls that, and they pick an RMP into that, they're going to have a huge advantage, and that could potentially decide the whole series. But if Method Black goes for the Turbo, and Method Orange picks the Demon Hunter, Boomkin, Shaman, all of a sudden, I would give the advantage to Method Orange. I think Method Orange has a slight edge, but it's going to come down to the blind for sure.
Very, very slight edge to Method Orange, Sid.
I think I'm going to be going pretty much the same route there. We've already seen a similar series played out with Botar's Turbo into Making a Movie's Demon Hunter Balance Druid, but Method Orange are another entirely different beast on this composition. It's been what they've been riding on for the entire 3rd season of this year in Battle for Azeroth. They've basically playing to the peak of their capability. I'm not sure if the Turbo is going to be enough to really stop Method Orange in their campaign to victory.
I guess that leaves me for the final decision. I mean, I put Method Orange as my #1 team heading into this tournament. They seem more focused than ever. They have the right composition. They have the right players. That being said, Method Black, this is a powerhouse team. They won the summer finals. They are our top point earners around the entire globe. You have powerhouse players like Waz, like Raikou. They've been playing together for so long, bringing on Swapsy, adding that diversity that has allowed them to run these different setups like the Turbo Cleave. And Chaz playing all these different healers at a phenomenal level. Method Orange, I have to give them a slight edge, but Method Black is not going to be an easy opponent for them.
It's quite amazing when you think about it that Method Orange has not only won every single series in this tournament so far, they've won every single game in this tournament so far. And I want to know, I've asked the analysts, I want to ask the crowd, do you think Method Orange can win this series here at BlizzCon and advance to the grand finals?
Look who it is! It's the Big Daddy himself, Lord Mez, stepping into the arena for game number 1.
Yeah, this should be interesting. We've seen Method Orange utilize this composition before against the Rogue Mage. You have Trill on the Demon Hunter. He's going to be looking for mana rifts onto Chaz. Mez, going to be hard for him in midfield. We've seen this matchup play out before. The Unholy Death Knight surprisingly has a lot of mobility, especially against a class like a Frost Mage with a lot of snares. It has a lot of utility. Chains of Ice, exceptionally strong. Death's Advance going to be limiting the snares onto him, and because of that, Method Orange can actually put nice pressure out onto Raikou.
Immediate burst damage towards Mez early on, but he deflects, trading out that anti-magic shield, absorbing a lot of that incoming damage. Raikou and Waz playing it patiently, holding onto their powerhouse cooldowns for an opportunity later on. We saw Method Orange implement this composition against Making a Movie. It decimated Maro's Frost Mage, and it's likely to do the same here towards Raikou. Chaz trading out a lot of his defensive arsenal in this initial exchange. Mez trying to pull back to the pillar in line of sight, as it is unlikely they'll find a kill during Tree of Life. Method Black need to take this window of opportunity to strike.
Yeah, Method Orange, they always know when to pick their moment, and this moment they need to run and hide. Like you were saying, Sid, Chaz with the Tree of Life, with the Innervate, it's unlikely they're going to be able to find pressure. As soon as that fades, I think it's likely Mez charges midfield once again, tries to take down Raikou, but Method Orange under a lot of pressure. Nice crowd control coming in from Method Black with the Polymorph on Sea-Doo. He has the Trinket Spirit Link. Mez decides to trade out his anti-magic zone, a very powerful defensive cooldown, limiting magic damage, which will keep him alive.
Method Black showcasing the Rogue Mage Druid in game number 1. Perfect isolation, softening Mez up for a potential kill later on. Both Trill and Sea-Doo are going to have to keep an eye on him. Mez marching forward towards Raikou to try and keep some pressure up, but he is overextending. Sea-Doo moves in, ducking for cover, but now they swap to Sea-Doo, catching him with a huge amount of burst. Barely staying alive, Ascendance popped, likely to recover, and now Method Orange need to push forward.
Sea-Doo's actually running Zalzek's Veiled Eye, defensive tank trinket, in order to stay alive, realizing he might be vulnerable in this matchup, deciding for a little bit of more defense in his gear choice. I like what Method Black is doing though. Sea-Doo, if he charges across the map to try to keep Mez and Trill alive, Waz making sure he punishes them, which I think is the strategy they need to implement to win.
Waz setting up some crowd control for Raikou, but he's not able to follow it up. Method Orange are now free to do as they please. Raikou trying his best to kite away. I will say that Chaz is doing quite an impressive job maintaining his mana against that Mana Rift Honor talent of Trill. If Chaz can keep his mana on par with Sea-Doo, they will stay in this fight. Good crowd control from Method Orange as they initiate an attack. Raikou desperately trying to blink to safety, managing to escape for now.
Yeah, the reason this matchup's so difficult is Mez and Trill, they can stay on target when they need it, but a setup now onto Mez once again. There's a full blind on Sea-Doo. He's opting not to, he actually is opting not to trinket it. No follow poly from Raikou. Mez able to deny it with the Death Grip, and now Raikou could be in a lot of trouble.
At this point, with Raikou at 50% health, Ironbark's defense does not even seem to be enough. Method Orange keeping their momentum. Sea-Doo on the run. Waz can't stay on target. Those Chains of Ice from Mez supporting Sea-Doo quite effectively. Method Orange trying to implement a stall tactic, but they catch Sea-Doo in a swap, trying to dish out devastating damage, but that Death Grip from Mez once again protecting Sea-Doo.
Look at the Chains of Ice on Waz. Anytime he uses his Shadow Step, he just gets Chains of Ice over and over. Raikou ice blocking at the nick of time in order to stay alive. That would have been a very unexpected kill coming in from Method Orange. Very scary moment, but now a big swap on Mez.
Mez getting set up on Waz, trying to carry the team here, but not really forcing too much, and Method Orange are looking stable here in game number 1, slowly but surely marching forward to victory. They could even switch to Waz at any point. They could just cleave both targets down. Chaz still doing an impressive job maintaining his mana, looking for some Cyclones, trying to stall out the damage. Curious to see if Chaz is going to cross center field. Instead, Waz goes for another attack onto Sea-Doo. Chaz jumps on top of him as well to follow up the stun chain, looking for a Cyclone at low health, gets denied by Trill.
Managed to pull out the Zalzek's Veiled Eye. That's going to make Sea-Doo vulnerable in future setups. Like you're saying, Sid, Chaz is doing a very impressive job in this matchup with his mana so far. Trill having a difficult time landing those consistent mana risks, which we normally see from him. Method Black, I think they knew the composition Method Orange wanted to run, and I think they picked a very good comp into it.
Another opportunity for Method Black to strike towards Sea-Doo. Will they have the damage to close it out is the question. Nobody's next to him. Sea-Doo with a one-on-one between Waz is slowly but surely starting to recover. Waz will likely give up on this kill, I would think, pretty soon, unless Raikou has some sort of opportunity to blink back behind the pillar. Sea-Doo likely to recover, jumping into the Blizzard. That way, if a polymorph is secured, he will break it. Good positioning by Sea-Doo. Chaz, though, has been sneaking away and finding a drink, regenerating his mana right as dampening kicked in. Critical timing from Chaz.
Yeah, very important. Mez still under fire. Raikou, honestly, to his credit, as a Frost Mage, it is not easy to kite in a Holy Death Knight or a Demon Hunter, so excellently done by him. Another big setup coming in from Method Black onto Method Orange. AMZ gets traded out by Mez, but Chaz, he gets the Cyclone on Sea-Doo. Now Method Black in a very powerful situation.
Chaz on fire right now, maintaining his mana despite the mana rift, extending his team for whatever opportunity they can find. They do manage to bank some powerful defensives as Raikou unleashes an icy attack towards Mez. Chaz, though, locking crowd control, not able to support. Mez pulling back towards the pillar with Sea-Doo, looking to line of sight Raikou. His burst is now over. That threat has been thwarted. Method Orange now just need to worry about Waz's Vendetta. Waz a bit reluctant to push forward. If he line of sights, it could be devastating. Mez grips him behind the pillar, looking for some burst. Do they have the damage to take him down? No. The kill will be stopped. Waz instead trying to gun for Sea-Doo, but he's still staying quite overextended. He's going all in for the kill. Raikou positions, launching out a few frost bolts. Chaz commits for the kill with that Tree of Life. If they don't get a kill on with Sea-Doo with this push, they are going to be behind.
Yeah, Sea-Doo, when he kites around in this Ghost Wolf, it's going to make him very difficult to kill. Zalzek Veiled Eye gets pulled out once again. But Method Orange, they need to be careful. If they all clump behind the pillar, that's where Raikou can unleash Frosty Devastation with his Blizzard, with his Frozen Orb, keep up the pressure. And basically, at that point, Waz can just pick the target he wants to go on.
Sea-Doo completely topped off now. Mana in favor of Method Orange. These death grip strategies catching Waz. He preemptively feinted that incoming stun. Nice read by Waz, making himself a lot more durable to that surprise attack. Although Chaz traded his Gladiator's Medallion, and now he could be exposed later in the match. It looks like he's looking for a drink, and it does appear to be the case that Method Black want to play for a long game kill. It is difficult to penetrate through the defense of this composition that Method Orange have crafted with 3-minute powerful cooldowns such as Anti-Magic Zone and Darkness. Method Black have a long road of cooldowns to get through before they can find a kill.
Yeah, Raikou under fire once again. Mez and Trill all over him. Temporal Shield does get used, but Chaz with his mana management in this game, looking for those drinks, regenning his mana, has been on fire. This game is definitely not going according to plan for Method Orange. We are at 16% dampening. Sea-Doo into a full bash. Chaz looking for crowd control. Full polymorph secured by Raikou. Reverse comes in from Trill in the nick of time to keep Mez alive.
Triple cap totem secured by Sea-Doo, but not any damage off the back of it. Chaz retreating back to the corner. Raikou trying to do his best to kite, but Mez is all over him. Ironbark is forced to be traded, still going down through it. Waz peels Mez away with a kidney shot, and as we get deeper into dampening, it becomes difficult to predict who is actually coming out ahead.
I just don't know. Waz is going to be super effective on that Assassination Rogue against the Resto Shaman as this game goes on late. Raikou, if he can keep himself alive, especially with the support of Chaz, I mean, normally we see a Frost Mage get trained down, you can't do much, you can't get out the Polymorphs, but when you have a Resto Druid on your team, he can throw out Entangling Roots, Cyclones to free you up and allow you to get some casts off.
Chaz's mana not looking too good at this point. Trill's mana rifts are starting to pay off here. Well-timed Temporal Shield by Raikou, soaking up all these hits and will heal him back to full health. Sea-Doo's team in a good position to stall this match out. what opportunities do they really have? This next blind needs to pull a Gladiator's Medallion. This next Vendetta needs to pull a primary defensive. They launch another attack towards Sea-Doo. Will this be enough to take him down? Anti-magic zone trades out from Mez, denying the kill once again.
Yeah, but Raikou, he has his Icy Veins available, and now with no anti-magic zone, Method Orange, they're going to be very vulnerable. Raikou taking a little bit of pressure, stun on Chaz. He trinkets out, just trying to avoid the mana risk from Trill, extend his mana as long as possible. At 26% damaging, it is unlikely he gets another drink. Big setup coming in from Method Black. Raikou could be in some trouble. Temporal Shield does get traded out. We saw how low he got before. He doesn't want to waste with this game without using the Ice Block, but Chaz able to stabilize him, keep him alive with the Tree Form, with the Innervate. Now Method Black seems to have all the pressure. Nice combo by Chaz to restabilize his team. If they can keep this pressure on, Sea-Doo doesn't have a lot to work with, having already burned through his Healing Tide. Pre-Earthen Wall Totem, nice read by Sea-Doo, expecting this attack, predicting it. Chaz instead opting to Cyclone him and try to develop some pressure on Mez, but those Death Strikes are healing himself back up as Mez is quite self-sustainable. Sea-Doo still getting trained down by Waz. And I'm curious if in dampening, Method Black actually have the advantage. A misplay here by Waz. That blind on diminishing return means that threat is now no longer available. Sea-Doo opts to trinket the bash anyway, lining those up for a future trinket later on and to thwart away this Frozen Orb assault. Method Black have a lot of pressure. Yeah, but Sea-Doo having a difficult time at this point in dampening, keeping his team stable with the Riptides. Waz getting swapped in. It seems like Method Orange, they have no choice. They need to keep their pressure on Waz, but unfortunately, it's just not that much damage. Waz isn't that vulnerable of a target against this composition. Mez having to retreat. Ray of Frost being used by Raikou. He's looking for damage on Mez. Mez charges across the map, looking for damage once again, but Chaz, with the Cyclones, denies any sort of offense Method Orange has. Waz looking for another swap onto Sea-Doo. Method Black trying to keep multiple pressure points and make it difficult for Sea-Doo to bounce back in this fight. Dampening is getting deep at this point. It's going to become increasingly more difficult for either side to recover from big punches. Mez trying to stay in the safety of the Earthen Wall Totem, but still get some pressure out. Raikou dropping that Frozen Orb, trying to deal some pain. Mez trades Icebound Fortitude to stay aggressive as both teams burn through cooldowns. Yeah, Zalzak's Veiled Eye for Waz as well. Both teams looking to stall out this game, but at this point in dampening, Raikou's damage going to be huge. Looking for an Ebon Bolt, gets grounded by Sea-Doo. Nice plays from Sea-Doo to avoid that damage on Mez, but Waz looking for a swap on him with a kidney shot. AMZ gets used, and now Method Orange, at this point in the game, if they're not pushing aggressive, if they're forced defensive, it is going to be good night. Method Black's damage with the Blizzard, with the Frozen Orb, ultimately will be too much. Mana is quite even at this point. You would expect Method Orange to have more of an established lead, but Chaz's late game plays, going for those drinks and regenerating his mana, has kept his team in this fight, and now their momentum is starting to stick here in game number one. Mez in trouble. Sea-Doo locked out of the match. Trill needs to save him, dropping the darkness and allowing Mez to stay in the fight. Yeah, Trill gets polymorphed up. Raikou realizing that the Method Orange could get some pressure. Ray of Frost gonna be used on Mez. He barely survives. Earthen Shield Totem gets used by Sea-Doo, but Mez and Sea-Doo, they're just snared up behind the pillar. No damage, no pressure on Raikou. Waz with really no defensives. Nice Spiritling Totem drop by Sea-Doo to keep Mez alive, but I just don't think he has the healing to sustain this much longer. This looks like it could quite possibly be a triple kill here. Mez will fall in game number one.
Method Black come out with the Rogue Mage Druid. This was a classic Europe versus North America. Chaz on the Resto Druid, Sea-Doo on the Shaman, but it's Method Black and Europe that come out ahead in game one.
Yeah, and a lot of it is at the back of Chaz drinking time and time again. And you might say, well, why doesn't Method Orange just stop him from drinking? It's not that easy when Chaz is consistently playing very, very far back with Raikou, and Raikou is slowing everybody who is even remotely close to Chaz. Those pets, everything gets slowed. Chaz manages to get around the corners and get those drinks, because the Druid, straight up, if nobody drinks, the Druid will lose on mana towards the Shaman, but because they keep setting up those drinks before Chaz is actually low on mana, they get to stay aggressive, and the Druid Mage synergy really does shine when you reach later on into dampening, when some of the sustain damage from the Mage actually starts to make a dent.
And I'd like to extend a special welcome to our viewers joining us now from Hearthstone. You join us at a fantastic time here. The Europe #1 seed versus the North America #1 seed. Winner advances to the BlizzCon Grand Final. Method versus Method. Method Black take game one, and they have momentum in the series.
Yeah, Method Black, they picked the perfect composition. I think they knew what Method Orange wanted to run. They beat Making a Movie earlier on in the tournament with this Death Knight, with this Demon Hunter, but with the Resto Druid, with Chaz supporting Raikou, the Rogue Mage setup proves to be too much in game number one.
It's an incredible, it's just the fact that these two teams are sticking to their guns, right? Like, we theory, what would Method Black do in this series? What would Method Orange do? They both come out. Mez on the Death Knight is about as OG as it gets, even in this meta, bringing it out looking fantastic. But Chaz on the Restoration Druid, he deserves a highlight here, I think, because he had a fantastic game. Keeping against such a deadly team with the Demon Hunter win condition for such a long time is very difficult to do.
I think it's time to put Sam-I-Am back into the fight for Method Orange. Should Method Black blind lock the same composition? That Moonkin Demon Hunter undefeated for Method Orange in the tournament. I would like to see it, but obviously they want to talk it out. They want to consider all of their options. They can just sneak their way into the grand finals with this series. Dropping down to that lower bracket would be devastating, so taking the time to consider all of their options is important.
It's important to note, of course, this is still the upper bracket, so whoever does lose this series, as Sid pointed out, will just drop down to tomorrow's lower bracket. But of course, you want to be getting that free pass, basically, into the grand finals. Well, free is a little bit of an understatement, but winning this series would be a great confidence boost, because you may well just meet one of the teams you've already beaten.
Yeah, going down to the lower bracket and facing off against those scary teams, or being in the grand finals, obviously there's a lot on the line, and the choice is clear for both of these teams. In this situation, Method Black, they're going to be waiting. What map is Method Orange going to select? And I have a question for you, Zico. What do you think Method Black is going to lock in blind?
I think Method Black could lock in the same composition blind, honestly. What does Method Orange run? I hate to answer a question with a question, but what does Method Orange actually run that is a big counter towards what Method Black is doing? On this map, I guess they shouldn't run. Maybe Method Black will just blind lock. Well, maybe they will blind lock Boomkin the Edge and just try to mirror them. At worst, you lose, and then you still have the pick advantage in the next game. At best, you get a mirror, which is kind of 50-50, and you can win.
It'll be interesting to see. Do we think that the Rogue Mage Druid struggles against the Demon Hunter Moonkin?
I would say so. I don't think the Druid is necessarily the best play. Method Orange, I think they'll be able to exploit it. Resto Druid can fall very far behind, and of course, will ultimately get mana burn down. I mean, it's not a matchup we've really seen that much. Not many Rogue Mage still opt to play with the Druid often. Maybe Method Black, they'll roll the dice and see if they can get a win.
We've seen a few Rogue Mages in this tournament, but I think Method Black hasn't actually locked in their Rogue Mage just yet in the entire competition, from what I remember. And it's very interesting because Tempo Storm and Making a Movie have both fallen to these types of compositions, but Method Black look like a whole different caliber of team.
I want to see Method Black lock in RMP. I want to see them lock it in blind. It's good against pretty much everything that Method Orange runs. It's good against DH Boomkin. It's good against some of the melee cleaves. At least on a small map here, you can get some value out of that priest. I think RMP is actually the player.
Do you think it could be run down by Method Orange, maybe, Sid?
I mean, that might be their best option. It definitely plays into the map. I do not think this composition plays into the map whatsoever. Chaz is not going to be able to get to safety and drink as he did on the Grand Arena. Raikou will be stacked up likely with Waz quite frequently, and Method Orange could even go for the same composition as they did in game number one. However, I think it's time to bring Sam-I-Am in.
Well, I don't actually mind this pick from Method Black because it puts them in a situation where they can at least see what Method Orange has as an answer. Maybe Method Orange doesn't have a composition. Maybe Method Black can get a win with this Rogue Mage Druid setup because it is kind of unconventional at this point to play Rogue Mage with the Resto Druid. We don't see it too often. Normally see it with the Priest in the Paladin or with the Paladin in this current meta. So Method Black basically challenging Method Orange. What comp are you going to run?
Forces them to reveal their hand, forces them to show their deck, all the cards in it. That could be the play here for Method Black. But one of the other things I do want to talk about, obviously the two methods, like they're on the same organization. They've been working together a lot backstage, and these two teams, it's quite amusing that they've made it to the finals because they've been practice partners consistently backstage, sharing secrets with each other, figuring out how to beat each other as opponents. Now this could be the series that ultimately ends up deciding BlizzCon if they were to rematch at the grand finals. Do you think it could come back to bite them maybe?
I mean, I think both teams have something to gain from having that mutual partnership. And if you just don't look at this matchup in particular, but you look at the overall picture of the tournament, who is doing best in this tournament? Both of these teams, and that's because they have so much practice against each other. They don't need to reveal anything to anybody else because Method Black has everything that Method Orange wants to practice against, and the same way around. And it's kind of similar to what we were saying about Reformed and making a movie earlier. They were scrim partners or practice partners earlier, and then they had to go up against each other.
I'm actually really curious to see this from Method Orange locking in this composition. Potentially, because it's Dalaran Sewers on the smaller map, they'll have more uptime on Raikou, but it just seems like the synergy between Raikou and Chaz has made it so difficult for Trill and Mez to really find pressure on the smaller map. If Sea-Doo can cross the map more easily, assist with grounding totems, assist with wind shears to shut down Chaz, they might be able to run them over.
What do you think would be the weakness of this composition from Method Orange? Or maybe a better question, what do you think would be a better option for them potentially here?
I don't know.
It's difficult. It's nice for them to decide that. We just
for
call
them
the games.
I mean, obviously they feel like this is their best option. These guys have practiced these matchups over and over. So maybe the Demon Hunter Moonkin composition isn't necessarily the best. Maybe they feel like they have to go with this cleave.
We did talk up a lot Mez on that Death Knight with the kind of like the mobility shutdown from the Chains of Ice as well as his Death's Advance for the mobility. But I mean, Death Knights, if they can't get the kill, I think one of the things we really noted in that last game is that Raikou played like an absolute king on that Frost Mage, kiting like a god, getting the damage out, keeping his team alive till dampening. The thing that Method Orange is banking on is the smaller map being enough for them to win this game and bring back the series to a tied one apiece here. We're ready to load up into Dalaran Series, Super T's Venruki. This is game 2 of this series.
We are in the winners final between Method Black and Method Orange. Method Black taking the first victory against Method Orange in this tournament. They have not dropped the game up until this point, and Method Black seem to be able to turn the stall tactics of Method Orange in their own favor with this composition. Chaz playing the late game perfectly, looking for every opportunity to find drinks. The disadvantage that Sea-Doo's team faces on this close-quartered map is that they will be stacked up frequently, and if they do, it will be devastating because of Raikou's area of effect damage.
What Method Black they need to do, they need to kite on the bottom of the map. They need to use this little gradient and run around this platform, because being on the platform is not a good situation to be in. Raikou basically needs to run circles around the map. That is his best kiting option. So far he realized it. That's exactly what he needs to do. But Sea-Doo's on target. Kidney shot coming in from Waz though. Good pressure from Method Black early on. Sea-Doo under fire. Garrote Sound's going to be used. Trading out that Astral Shift, Sea-Doo should survive. Yeah,
Waz goes all in and does not find too many cooldowns early on. I'm curious if Method Orange are going to play the same strategy of just chasing down Raikou, or if they're going to mix it up. We see a blind currently on Sea-Doo. Mez responds with the anti-magic shield, soaking up quite a few hits, but the crowd control chain just keeps going. Unfortunately, breaking prematurely. Now Sea-Doo will have free reign in this moment. I would love to see Method Orange push forward.
Yeah, this is Method Orange's opportunity. Sea-Doo's on Polymorph DR. No real threat to crowd control. It looks like Waz is looking to set up crowd control or set up a damage onto Sea-Doo in this moment. One thing I got to credit Mez for in this matchup, he's keeping the Chains of Ice on Waz the entire game, making it difficult for him to get to the target he really wants.
Tree of Life forced from Chaz's hand. That powerful defensive cooldown will stabilize the team for another 20 seconds, but after that point, he is going to be increasingly fragile. Trill chasing down Raikou, getting cloned up by Chaz, denying some further pressure. Waz looking for some re-stealths potentially here for a cheeky play and attack at Sea-Doo. Raikou opting to blink away, look for a late game. Chaz trying to reposition. Sea-Doo denies any sort of drinking shenanigans. Good positioning by Sea-Doo.
Yeah, that is really going to be the advantage for Method Orange in this matchup. With this small map, Chaz is not going to be able to sneak away for drinks very easily, and if he does, Method Orange, they're going to be able to shut it down quite quickly.
Chaz caught into a stun here, but the mana rifts really not closing any significant advantage, and Method Black seem to have crafted a composition that can play to the same tactics that Method Orange have implemented this entire season. Waz catches Sea-Doo into a stun. Raikou unleashing devastating damage, but Mez protects Sea-Doo with that anti-magic zone, and now Method Orange continue to push forward.
That won't be available for another 2 minutes. Luckily for Sea-Doo, he still has his trinket and the Spirit Link. Sea-Doo on target, nice grip from Mez. Triple CC comes in, Chaz immediately trinkets He does not want to be caught into a situation where he's getting mana rifted, he's falling behind. Chaz not messing around, looking to instead trade out his cooldowns in a situation where they might lose really quickly. He's wanting to just stay ahead.
Waz initiating another attack towards Sea-Doo, forcing that Gladiator's medallion. Now that will not be available for an impending blind. Later on, Chaz looking for some cheeky clones, gets denied by Trill. Good backup by Method Orange during that scary moment, but that blind could still be the final nail in the coffin here in game 2.
Yep, Sea-Doo's still under fire. Really nothing left to work with. If he gets caught in a kidney shot outside of this Earthen Shield Totem, the only thing that can save him is Trill with the darkness. So for Method Orange, although it's scary when Sea-Doo gets targeted down, Mez with the backup with the anti-magic zone, Trill with the darkness. As long as they're rotating those with the Astral Shift, Method Orange can prolong this game for a long time.
It is going to be very important for Trill to protect Mez during that blind crowd control, which is an impending huge CC chain that will be available for Sea-Doo. Raikou dropping that Frozen Orb behind the pillar, but Trill does not care. Moving in, securing a double stun as Method Orange continue marching forward, looking desperately to pull ice blocks from Raikou before we step into dampening. But at this point, I would say that it is starting to look better and better for Method Black.
Well, Method Black, the one thing they don't have going for them is Chaz's mana. Like we kind of talked about, he's not going to be able to get those drinks like we saw in game number 1. Big setup coming in from Method Black onto Mez. He gets topped off quite quickly, and you can see Chaz now looking for a drink. I don't know if he managed to find anything. I don't think so. He wasn't able to sit down for long enough to channel the drink, to get the mana. Then that's one of the advantages Method Orange has on this map.
It was a smart map selection by Method Orange so that Sea-Doo can position it in deny drinks, but there's the blind move. They've isolated Mez. Where is the damage? They need it here and now, but they're not finding it. Mez retreating back towards the box, is actually deciding to move forward to interrupt the crowd control chain. Good teamwork by Method Orange.
Yep, nicely done. Chaz once again, Innervate Tree of Life. Raikou and Waz not going to be falling in this situation. Frozen Orb gets dropped. More pressure on Waz. Kitty shot on Sea-Doo. I don't think Raikou has the damage. Finds the Comet Storm and the Ice Nova. Sea-Doo hovering around 50% HP, but I think with Ghost Wolf, he's going to be completely fine.
Yep. Chaz's Tree of Life has now faded. He's looking to sneak away for potential drink opportunity. Trill is having none of that. Immediately fell rushing across the map to deny any sort of drinks. We've just stepped foot into dampening, but momentum in favor of Method Black as Waz once again initiates an attack towards Sea-Doo. Mez protecting him. Chaz trying to fake cast some interrupts here and get a cheeky clone at low health, but Trill with Metamorphosis popped is too much of a threat, and Chaz is forced away.
Yeah, Method Orange, they seem very comfortable just trading out that anti-magic zone every single time Waz has Vendetta available. Nice swap coming in from Method Orange onto Chaz. Later on in the game, it might be a good opportunity for them to get some pressure on an additional target onto Chaz, really tax that Restoration Druid mana. If he has to only hot up Raikou, not going to be burning through the mana quite as quickly as if he has to heal his entire team.
Pressure building on both sides, but Method Orange are falling behind here with both Mez and Sea-Doo at half. Sea-Doo with no Healing Tide Totem for 13 more seconds. He's really trying to just stall out to that precious cooldown to recover his entire team. Chaz looking for some cheeky clones onto Mez's Ghoul. He's trying to get a drink so desperately for the late game. If Chaz can't find any opportunities to regenerate mana, it's going to be a slow and painful defeat.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Kidney shot on Sea-Doo. Method Black looking to close out this game. He has the tools he needs to survive. Zalzak's Veiled Eye paying dividends for Method Orange in this matchup. They're able to survive these swaps till later on in the game. Method Orange, they need to continue the pressure. It's going to be more and more difficult for Sea-Doo to stabilize through these setups with just Riptides like he's able to now, especially as we move deeper into dampening.
Well-timed Cyclones there by Chaz. Sea-Doo falling further behind here as dampening starts to mount to critical mass. Raikou still just avoiding the fight at any cost, using Frostbolt snares to kite his opponent. Mez overextends for a second, bursts it down, Sea-Doo repositions. He needs to fake cast the counterspell of Raikou. Counterspell could be devastating in this position. Chaz still trying to play maximum range away from his team. Raikou getting Death Gripped away. This could be an opportunity for Chaz to find a drink.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Raikou under a little bit of pressure. You can see Chaz sitting down for a drink. If he can regen his mana, this is going to be beautiful. Trill able to shut it down, though. And that Demon Hunter with that mobility at any moment, Trill can cross the entire map and stop Chaz from regenerating his mana. Temporal Shield going to be used by Raikou. He gets topped off quite quickly from that. Sea-Doo joining the fight, crossing the map, wants to get back on top of Mez, land those heals when he can.
You may be wondering how Sea-Doo is healing for so much in Ghost Wolf as an Azerite trait. Pack Spirit healing him for an insane amount in that Ghost Wolf, and if Method Black can't remove that with a spell steal during their attack, it's unlikely that Sea-Doo will go down. Method Orange have obviously studied what is in the meta when they crafted this composition, and this map selection is paying dividends. Chaz's mana already down to half, forcing his hand once again to activate this Tree of Life.
Yeah. Imprisonment going to be used by Trill. He wants to shut down that Tree of Life. Innervate gets used by Chaz, though. This is basically a full reset moment for Method Black. Mez under fire once again. Kidney shot on Sea-Doo. The split pressure coming in from Method Black, really keeping Method Orange guessing, has been quite impressive. And finally, the AMS is going to be traded out by, or the Anti-Magic Zone is going to be traded out by Mez, and Waz still has that Vital Vendetta left.
Yeah, that Vendetta could close this game out here quite shortly if they can set it up properly, but Raikou is on the back foot and forced away. Chaz recovers with a well-timed Iron Bark. Waz still wants to go after Sea-Doo, but Raikou is just forced to kite, and they might just go for a cross kill on Mez instead. It's Raikou versus Mez and Waz versus Sea-Doo, desperately trying to keep their pressure on two targets. Chaz looking for some cheeky Cyclones at low health, and now Mez has been isolated, forcing Icebound Fortitude, and Method Black have Method Orange in a chokehold.
Nice Cyclone coming in from Chaz onto Sea-Doo. Now Sea-Doo has to play catch-up, pops the Ascendance, needs to find the casted heals. Mez getting lower and lower. Earthen Shield Totem gets dropped out. Mez should survive with that, but another beautiful Cyclone coming in from Chaz. In the meantime, Raikou forced into the Ice Block.
And as dampening mounts higher and higher, I think there's an increasingly potential for cross kills for either team. Sea-Doo gets swapped to again. Huge Comet Storm damage, forcing Astral Shift. Raikou trying to max range interrupts, but Mez backs Sea-Doo up. Chaz looking for cheeky clones. No interrupt. Sea-Doo cloned at low health. Mez could be in trouble as well if Waz can build up some more momentum. More Cyclones incoming. Sea-Doo can't top himself off. If they've got a kidney shot out of this, it could be devastating. Chains of Ice support from Mez. Stalls it out. Sea-Doo desperately trying to recover. Chaz making a bit of an error here, stacking up for a double stun, but Sea-Doo is still falling behind at this point. Will he be able to survive the stun lock? Seems to be the case that he may be able to. Raikou dips low as well. The second Ice Block and Spear Link Totem forced at the same moment.
Yeah, but Raikou, he has Icy Veins. If Chaz can keep him alive, that might be the final punch that Method Black needs. Sea-Doo really running on fumes in terms of defensives. He has the Earthen Shield Totem. He's been doing a good job getting into Ghost Wolf for these stuns. Interrupt onto Chaz into Imprisonment. Raikou getting a little lower. Kidney shot on Mez. This is such a scary moment.
Sea-Doo repositions to get Earthen Wall Totem onto both members of his team. He has to do a lot of healing on two targets. Doing his best to maximize it with that defensive cooldown is important. We see double stun initiation by Method Orange. Just a little bit longer. A couple more mana rifts and Chaz is going to be tapped, but I'm not sure if Sea-Doo can keep it up. He doesn't have a lot to work with, and we are getting deep into dampening. Anti-Magic Zone traded out during this attack by Method Black. It needs to be enough.
Yeah, at any moment, Trill can activate the Darkness. He doesn't want to activate it too late. Icy Veins from Raikou, very scary moment, but they're able to survive with that Anti-Magic Zone. Sea-Doo still rotting down, trying to regenerate himself with the Ghost Wolf. Big swap on Raikou, no Ice Block available. Chaz lands the Iron Bark. Raikou trying to kite away, drops the Blizzard. Waz making sure he can continue the pressure on Method Orange, but Method Black is running out of time.
Tree of Life Innervate. Sea-Doo needs to try and purge this Innervate from Chaz. It's the only thing that he can heal with. If he can remove it, there's the Innervate. They desperately need to remove it, but Sea-Doo's locked down in crowd control. He's pressured too much. He can't afford to remove it, which means Chaz will recover his entire team. Both teams almost completely tapped out at this point, with dampening mounting up to insane levels. Sea-Doo doing his best, but there's not a lot to work with. Chaz getting stun locked, quite possibly seconds away from this match ending.
Yeah, man's getting lower, really doesn't have much. Sea-Doo, no Spirit Link, won't be able to top him off. Full blind on Sea-Doo. Method Black looking to close out game number 2. Mez has to keep himself alive. Trill helps him out with the Darkness. That is the last line of defense for Method Orange.
Both Mez and Sea-Doo have basically nothing left. They need 4 more seconds. Can they stay in the fight for that point? Death Grip into the double stun by Sea-Doo. Time for Ascendance to immediately be activated. He needs to get some casted heals, but he's getting stalled out by Waz. Will Sea-Doo be able to hang on in these final moments of the match? It's Waz going all out. Raikou falling behind as well. Sea-Doo holding on by a thread at this point in this fight, dampening at insane margins. Sea-Doo holds on by the seat of his pants, and
Raikou manages to stay alive as well, but anyone could fall at any second.
I think Raikou has run out of time. There is no way he can run away from Method Orange that long, and Method Orange puts a point on the board.
The crowd erupt as Method Orange win game 2. They're able to take Talorant Sewers. What a close game here coming out between Method Black and Method Orange. Now the teams are tied 1 apiece, and we're going to find out who's going to advance further in this series after this. Just when you thought that Method Black had found the composition to defeat Sea-Doo, they bounce back and Method Orange tie up the series. How were they able to break it down in Talorant Sewers?
Well, it just came down to that one moment where they managed to force out the ice block off of Raikou and then immediately force another ice block off of Raikou, basically leaving him in a really dire situation that you never want to be in as a mage, where you're not going to have another ice block for 4 or 5 minutes. If that ever happens in dampening, it's a big, big problem, because you are not going... Okay, this doesn't make any sense, Method Black. Like, what?
Wow, so Method Orange actually going to lock in the blind composition of the Demon Hunter Moonkin, and Method Black answer with the Rogue Mage Priest composition on Tolvaron Arena.
Well, this is, like we said earlier, the favorable matchup against Boomkin, DH, and the Resto Shaman is Rogue Mage Priest, but I feel like Method Orange laid down a little trap here, because Method Black, they picked Tolvaron Arena. Method Orange saw, okay, we're not going to Tolvaron Arena against RMD, where Chaz can drink the whole game. Let's just pick Boomkin DH and force them on that RMP, where actually we're the ones who just need to survive, and then we'll win. So this was quite intelligently picked by Method Orange, and this is of course the swing match. If Method Orange wins this, in game number 5, should the series go all the way, they will have that map as well as comp advantage.
Coming into today's series, you saw Trill on your screen there. He's played in 91% of all the games that Method Orange have played throughout Battle for Azeroth. He's been instrumental to this team. No matter what composition they run, it's always Trill on the Demon Hunter, and boy, is this guy a player.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We saw him last year on the Windwalker Monk, doing a phenomenal job. This year with Windwalker Monks not at maximum strength, he's opted to play the Demon Hunter, and he has been doing an incredible job, being, I would say, potentially the MVP of the roster, being played in almost every single game And playing that Demon Hunter at a level we really haven't seen that often.
We've barely seen it from anyone else. I mean, we're talking about Vilai playing the Demon Hunter a fair bit in this tournament, but I mean, it's not really comparable to Trill, and he's shown that many times, including against Vilai in a series that we saw during opening week. But I really want to take a focus on this game here, because we haven't really seen this matchup so far. We had huge compliments for the Rogue Mage coming out of Method Black in game 1. Now we have the Moonkin Demon Hunter. What can we expect to see here on this game, Super Tears?
Well, Chaz on Disciplined Priest, I've credited him throughout the entire year that he is the most mana-efficient Disciplined Priest in the match. He runs a versatility mastery build and focuses on smites and penances and staying max distance away. So even the mana rift strategy might not be enough to take victory against Chaz due to his efficient plays.
It's going to be an incredible game. This well could decide it. We've talked about it. This is the swing match. If Method Orange can win this matchup, they're going to have the complete advantage for the rest of the series. They did the hard work in game 2, but it does not get easier here as we head to Tolvaron Arena. Map choice from the Europeans, Method Black. And now we will see who can move into the game decider here. Game 3, we will have to see Chaz on the Disciplined Priest. He'll be on a timer, but he does have the offense to his side. 6 of the best players loading into the game that haven't won a BlizzCon. All of them so close to winning a BlizzCon, and this would be a big step on the road.
You can see Waz, he's charging across the map, looking to open right away. Sap on Sea-Doo, cheap shot on Trill, Garrote on Samayam. Chaz charging in as well, looking for a fear. Nice setup coming in from Method Black.
They go all in on Sea-Doo. They're actually not even committing the Vendetta. That threat was enough to force darkness from Trill. They managed to scare the team of Method Orange. They're pinned down behind the pillar, taking immense amounts of damage early on. Sea-Doo doing his best to start to stabilize. Waz realizing that, immediately retreating back.
I can't help but feel like dropping that darkness was a huge mistake coming in from Method Orange. They didn't commit anything. Waz still has a Vendetta, Raikou still has his Icy Veins, and that's the cooldown you need to survive those setups. Full blind on Sea-Doo, big swap on Samayam once again, trying to survive with just the bark skin. Sea-Doo comfortably sits through that blind as Samayam plays very nicely defensively.
I like the Solar Beam usage on Raikou there to break up the crowd control chain. Chaz using that Gnome Racial, which basically removes the Solar Beam crowd control from Samayam, so he now has to change the way he uses that spell. Much better usage to break up crowd control chains and stall the game, burning Chaz's mana, but Samayam in trouble. Lots of damages. Raikou is more than ready here. Will Sea-Doo be able to recover? Spearlink Totem now forced from the defensive arsenal. Method Orange falling further behind cooldown-wise.
Yeah, but Method Orange, they still have the mana lead. They just need to survive like we've talked about. Now, looks like Waz needs to recover on HP. Chaz has to get some heals out as Waz looking to cross the map. Method Orange in full retreat. Samayam getting interrupted. Waz all over him, though. Getting the bleeds up, the rupture of the Garrote. But Waz doesn't want to overextend in this situation. Chaz is not there, but he doesn't care. He wants to take down Sea-Doo with a full kidney shot.
Chaz is running out of time, already below 50% mana. Trill just gunning for him at this point, trying to tear him apart single-handedly. Chaz recovering with a huge penance, but Trill just all over him. Waz likely needs to pull back and assist. Trill instead opting to go after Waz. Sea-Doo completely topped on mana. It's looking grim here for Method Black, and Samayam substituting in is definitely a good decision by Method Orange.
For Chaz at this point in the game, it is so difficult to get a drink, but an all-in from Method Black. We're going to take down Samayam. Do they have the burst? Sea-Doo trinkets out, or actually Samayam trinketed it out with the bark to get out of that stun, keep himself alive. Sea-Doo holding on to his trinket. He doesn't have the Spirit Link, though. Method Black, these setups are so scary.
Another attack here by Method Black, making a scary situation for Method Orange. Icy Veins available, Dark Archangel to combo with that. Raikou could be devastating here in the next couple of seconds, so long as they can set up. They catch Samayam out of form. If they can get any crowd control on Sea-Doo, Raikou not in position. Chaz instead looking for a drink. That Frost Nova on Trill, denying him now a polymorph as well. Chaz is regenerating mana. That blue bar going up, and now Method Black have a second lease on life.
Yeah, and Chaz can now afford to play a little bit more aggressive in this matchup now that he's regen that mana, but he needs to be careful. Mana rift still coming in from Trill, and he's going to be going very fast. I really like that drink setup coming in from Method Black. Method Black now looking to get aggressive. Icy Veins going to be used by Raikou. Can they take Samayam down?
Vendetta also available. This could be scary times here. If Waz can set up a swap to Sea-Doo, they could just eradicate him. They've got him locked in polymorphs. They're going to go for Sam I Am instead. They pull the trigger on the Vendetta. Sam I Am trades. No crowd control now. The Psychic Scream instead by Chaz. It's good. Sam I Am, they just need a bit more damage, but it doesn't seem to be enough potentially here. Sam I Am did float. Darkness is available. They don't want to throw. Darkness gets traded out quite efficiently there by Trill. Method Orange stay in it.
Yeah, they stay in it. Sea-Doo really needing to get that Spirit Link Totem coming up in around 23 seconds. That's the last cooldown he needs to keep him alive. Trill getting swapped to. Big setup coming in from Method Black. Trill survives, though, activating the Zalzek's Veiled Eye. And Method Orange, they are not afraid to use that trinket. It has been very crucial in these games. These setup-based compositions Method Black has available. They're able to at least get a few more defensive cooldowns in.
Waz overextending and Method Orange punish, pulling a Cloak of Shadows, but Chaz will happily trade that if he can find an opportunity to get a drink and regenerate that little blue bar at all in this game. If he can manage to drink back to full and just clean reset, they could take this game off momentum in dampening. Sam I Am getting bursted down. Chaz is pushing forward to try and help Waz out during this attack, but the attack is basically getting not too much. Earthen Wall Totem actually baited by Sea-Doo. Once that defense has faded, it could be scary.
Yeah, Chaz going to be looking for more drinks in this matchup. We are not at dampening, and Chaz almost completely tapped on mana. Trill looking to get aggressive. Big setup over onto Sea-Doo. He has the trinket. He has the Spirit Link. He's not in Ghost Wolf. Raikou finds some damage with the Ray of Frost, but ultimately Sea-Doo will live. Now Waz is the one that's in trouble. Evasion gets traded out, has the feint as well. Has almost no mana left. We have just entered dampening.
Waz is spending a lot of time deep in enemy territory, and Trill is starting to tear in and punish for these maneuvers. We see triple crowd control initiated. Is there going to be the appropriate response? Sea-Doo sits through the blind. Polymorph gets reversed. Spirit Link connects the team, and they will stabilize. Dampening has just started to set in. Will Chaz be able to escape and find a drink to regenerate that mana? If he can't, it's not looking good for Method Black.
Yeah, in that exchange, Sam I Am traded out his Trinket, Barskin, Renewal, now into a Kidney Shot, very vulnerable. If he gets into bear form, nicely done by Sam I Am. That's going to be really limiting the amount of damage that Method Black can put up in this setup, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Unfortunately for Method Orange, they haven't been able to really find too much damage. Now Chaz positioning very far away, looking for a drink once again. This will be crucial if he can sit down long enough. If Raikou and Waz can buy him time, he will be able to regen, but unfortunately not able to find it. Sam shuts it down with the Starfall.
That Kidney Shot was wasted by Waz. He has Smoke Bomb and Vendetta. Trill overextended 80 yards away from the pillar. Shadow Step Kidney Shot, Trill is out of the game in that moment. They should have focused on trying to set up for a kill rather than the drink. It's very difficult with Starfall on this map to even find any opportunities. They've got another opening here. Chaz sits down for a drink. If Trill wants to stop it, he has to move very far away from Sea-Doo, and when he does it, he's vulnerable to Smoke Bomb. They catch Sam I Am in cat form with the Smoke Bomb. Waz still getting pressured away, though. This was supposed to be their opportunity to kill, but they're on the back foot.
Yeah, but Chaz managed to get some mana. Sea-Doo used his trinket as well in that exchange. I don't think that was on a blind, so Waz has an opportunity later on in the game with that blind to set up the final kill onto Method Orange. Sam I Am getting low, Kidney Shot on Sea-Doo. Do they have the damage? Looking like they want to take down Sea-Doo. Sam I Am rotting down low as well. Root Beam onto Chaz. Manages to run out that Escape Artist racial from Chaz, allowing him to get out of those roots, those beams, those silences to keep this team alive.
Chaz is easily the best late game Discipline Priest in this game currently playing against a Mana Rift Demon Hunter. He's still managing to squeak into deep dampening territory. They're in full retreat. Will Method Orange chase them down is now the question. Trill trying to move forward, gets Frost Nova dispelled. They're trying to hunt for a kill. Chaz gets stunned up. Waz peels over. Double Garrote Silence could be devastating here for Sam I Am. Waz though getting punched down. Sam I Am trying to get the kill. Waz ducks recover. Chaz repositions Cyclone Chain out of Imprison. It's good. Chaz has to trinket. Waz is still low. Raikou trying to get some counter pressure and force them back, but Method Orange are starting to get a lot of pressure.
Waz, really nice vanish there. Gets the double cheap shot and the Garrote Silence. Now Sam I Am into the Kidney Shot. Very vulnerable. Barskin does get used, and you really can't blame Method Black in that situation with the Innervate from Sam I Am. With Incarnation, that is a very scary moment for Method Black, and they managed to survive.
Waz still on the back foot, and Chaz's mana is not looking too good, but they've got a lot of damage at least. They're crowd controlling Trill, denying the darkness, but it may not even be necessary. Double stuns prevent any sort of follow-up. Waz moves in, going for the blind, 5 seconds away from a trinket. Trill needs to save. He ducks in, dropping that darkness just in the nick of time. Quick reactions by Trill. They try and cheekily mind control it, but it's not enough, and now Waz has to retreat.
Yep, and now Chaz almost completely tapped on mana. Method Black, this is not the situation you want to be in. Method Orange has their defenses rotating up, and they take down Waz in the swing match, now having an advantage.
The swing match goes in favor of Method Orange on Tolveron Arena, the map choice for Method Black, and now all things in favor of Sea-Doo and his crew.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you go for the largest map in the pool, trying to set up that 10 out of 10 counter pick with the RMD that we saw earlier. Method Orange are not going to take that bait. Instead, they're going to say, well, what's going to stop us from picking DH Boomkin? RMP? Well, great. Chaz is never going to fear anybody on this map, so you go ahead, Chaz. You go drink over there. Meanwhile, Trill is just doing so much damage. And we got Samam as well on that Moonkin, just trying to stay alive throughout the onslaught and then try to reverse some pressure back onto Waz. And now they win the swing map, and Method Black, they're the ones at the back foot.
Am I wrong here? I think Sam I Am is undefeated at BlizzCon.
It's a good question.
I'm pretty
we'd have
sure
to have our statistician go through that one.
That would
I'm
be
not
an
100%
achievement.
sure.
Does he get an achievement if he can win BlizzCon without losing a game?
I think we can probably work something out for him. It might have to be an IRL achievement for that one, but we've come up with something. I mean, the money would be quite something in the first place. But I want to say, because Method Black, the start of the series, they look so good. Even in Game 2, it looked like, and by the way, the fact this series has been so back and forth means it really is anyone's to play for. But over time, Method Orange have been getting better and better in this series. There was even a moment in that game, if you look at the player cams, where Sea-Doo just completely mispressed his trinket. He was clearly agitated by it during the game. Even despite that mistake, they're able to pull out the victory here on Tolveron Arena, which is arguably the worst map in the pool for this team.
Yeah, definitely a big moment for Method Orange in this series. They're able to win the swing match with this composition, bringing in Sam I Am on the Moonkin. And this composition, this is what Method Orange is known for. A lot of other teams in the tournament, they've been running it like making a movie, but Method Orange, they play it at a whole different level. Method Black now, they have to try to figure it out. What composition do they run? What map do they decide to go with to try to take down this comp that Method Orange has just been dominating with?
They've been really dominating with it the entire time, and I think Method Black, they had a lot of confidence coming into the series. If there was any team they weren't confident against from talking to them, it was the Gosu crew, and they were able to very narrowly defeat them. Now they find themselves down against Method Orange here, their sister team in the Method organization. Do you think they should be sticking to that Rogue Mage Priest composition, or would you like to see them go back to the Rogue Mage Druid?
Honestly, I think it depends on the map pick here. We're going to see what map gets actually selected here. If it's a small map, I want to see the RMP, and the reason why is, again, the Priest gets value on that map. The Priest is going to be able to get in there, get the psychic screams that we've been talking about, land that crowd control on the enemy healer, and that is going to open up a lot of opportunity for Method Black. If it's a large map, I want to see the Assassination, Frost, Resto Druid, and that is because the Resto Druid will have opportunity to go back and drink and drink and drink until you reach a late point in dampening, where the slows from the Frost Mage and the damage from the Frost Mage is going to be so much more overwhelming. Instead, we're going to see Ashamane's Fall get selected, which is yet another large map. Not quite as large as Tolveron, though. This is a better pick for sure, but I'm still not sold Method Black playing RMP on this comp. On this map, sorry.
RMP was meant to be the counter pick for Method Black here. That was the thing they locked in on Tolveron Arena to win. Method Orange were able to win the swing match. Sid, what does Method Black do in this situation?
I still think they threw away a kill opportunity with that one attempt that Chaz went for a drink. If they had just swapped a Trill with Smokebound Vendetta, Method Black would be up on match point right now. So it's not completely unwinnable by any means. It's just really, really difficult, and it's normally going to be really difficult when you're at the global stage with the #1 seed from Europe and the #1 seed from North America. So it's a tough decision, but it's not an impossible one.
I remember one of my favorite quotes from Swapsy when we got to interview, because we talked to a lot of the teams beforehand. One of my favorite quotes was, "I don't want to enter a game having to play really well to win it. I want to enter a game knowing that I have the advantage at the start of the game and that we just have to execute on our strategy. Method Black here are increasingly finding themselves in a situation where they really have to make the plays to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, Method Black, they have a lot of different compositions at their disposal. Zico, I have a question for you. I'm thinking that we could see Waz coming in on the Outlaw Rogue, Raikou on the Fire Mage, and that could be a really good answer for what Method Orange has.
Instant smile from Zico.
It's funny that you said that, because while you were talking, I was just thinking, maybe we'll see a pirate now.
Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see it on Tolveron.
I don't think, the thing is, I know Method Black has one composition, which has a pirate, but I don't want to spoil it unless they pick it. But it is a good one. I think it could potentially work in this matchup. We'll have to see, but I can give you a hint. Okay, never mind. So yeah, they're gonna okay, no hints, no hints. Method Black gonna be playing the same composition, but honestly, Method Orange, they have a great map here. Again, we're gonna see Sea-Doo and Samayan be able to stay far back and force Chaz to run out in the open to get those Psychic Screams, which of course is going to allow Trill to get those mana rifts going, to get all that cleave pressure going as well, and to accelerate the game by burning out Chaz's mana.
I almost want to see Method Black play this matchup hyper-aggressive once again. Chaz, instead of looking for those late-game drinks, trying to get the late-game advantage, just go all in, get those fear, get those consistent setups, try to close out the game with crowd control like we see Rogue Mage Priest often doing. It just seems like they're playing into the favor of Method Orange with that strategy we saw in Tolveron.
Good. It's going to be interesting to see what they have thought out, because, I mean, like Sid said, there were definitely opportunities for Method Black in that last game, but it was by no means kind of the winning game for them. If they don't have anything better here, then this could well be Method Orange running away with the series.
This has been an insane day one of BlizzCon with an insane number of epic matches to be had. Method Orange, Sea-Doo's run here at BlizzCon. Can he make it the dream a reality? He's got an opportunity here on match point to advance to the grand finals.
The crowd have been here. It's 11 p.m. You've all waited for this moment. Sea-Doo, one game away from the grand finals of BlizzCon 2018.
Yeah, it looks like Method Black, they want to get aggressive right away. Zap onto Sea-Doo, kidney shot on Sea-Doo, big setup coming in. Do they have the damage to push him over? A lot of burst damage, Astral Shift gets traded out. Method Orange should survive the opener.
Method Black lead with a heavy attack initially here, forcing multiple defensives from Sea-Doo and making him vulnerable moving into the future. Raikou Chaz with triangle positioning, dragging across the map, retreating away from the defense of Method Orange. Method Orange now making a decision to just jump right on top of them. They've got that wiggle room with this match advantage, but Trill gets caught, overextended, tons of damage, traded out, but is not going to fall to that assault. Now Trill leading the charge.
Yep, Trill trying to find the damage when he can. Waz just line of sighting, putting pressure up on Sea-Doo right now. And to Waz's credit in this matchup, he's been doing a good job making sure there's multiple pressure points that his team's able to swap to, keeping Sea-Doo kind of guessing. Samayan rotting down a little bit low right now. Vendetta was committed earlier on, but Raiku's sitting on that Icy Veins for a little bit later.
Samayan being pressured here as Method Black move in. Crowd control, Sea-Doo gets bursted. Not much to trade here. That's Spearling Tone, but Waz is overextending and getting punished. He's not able to stay in and finish the job. Forced to pull back. Once again, Method Black on the back foot. And these mana rifts inevitably going to be burning that mana pool away. Method Black need to get something done.
Yeah, Waz under fire once again. He's really the person that can push in for his team, keep up this pressure. See Chaz pulling back once again. So do you feel like he should be pushing in for fears in this matchup, or do you want to see him look for the drinks early once again?
I mean, if they're going to play for that strategy, they should not have gone to Ashamane's fall. It's going to be risky. Chaz trying to sit down for drinks. Samayan denies it. And so long as they can keep denying it, it is likely that Method Orange will be able to close this out. I don't see any windows of opportunity right now. Method Black need to whittle away at this defensive wall. Blind ends up breaking. Blizzard misplaced by Raikou. That's devastating for Method Black.
Very unfortunate, and that's going to limit the amount of opportunities Method Black has going on in this matchup. Sea-Doo does get interrupted. Waz can capitalize with the stun onto Samayan. It could be devastating. And, you know, when Chaz, he goes for these drinks, it does two things. Not only is he looking to regenerate his mana, but he's also pulling Method Orange off the pillar for them to land some of these opportunities, some of these kill windows. Sea-Doo gets caught in a kidney shot, but ultimately survives. Waz getting cycloned up. Nicely done by Samayam supporting his team.
Chaz opting to use Trinket to avoid a mana rift and keep that precious blue bar as long as possible. Samayam ducking for cover with Sea-Doo at the pillar. Raikou a little bit reluctant to push forward. They actually catch Samayam trying to cross the map and deny the drink. Tons of damage here. Earthen Wall Totem will allow them to stabilize. Chaz sits down for a drink, and as you pointed out, he either regenerates the mana or he pulls Method Orange off the pillar. Both of those are a win-win for Method Black.
Yeah, definitely not a bad strategy to be implementing. It just seems so difficult for Method Black to get pressure. If Method Orange is just sitting on the pillar in this matchup, running around, Raikou's not able to get out cast the damage. Sea-Doo actually trinkets out of a kidney shot and uses his Astral Shift as well. Really wants to respect that Vendetta coming in from Waz.
But Icy Veins is still a looming threat for Raikou. Dark Archangel to combo up with it as well. Method Black have a big hit available. If Sea-Doo isn't ready, it could just close this out and take us to game number 5. Method Black playing it out patiently, waiting for that window of opportunity. It's a kidney shot committed to Samayam, and Method Black going for the safer route now. A Shadow Step kick onto Sea-Doo. Trying to back up with a little bit more momentum. Lots of damage from Raikou, but not enough to get a kill. Waz gets life grip back to safety. They need to abort this mission. Samayam with Incarn rolling is a huge danger to Method Black. Immediate retreat, but Method Orange are starting to close in.
Yep, Innervate, Berserking, Incarnation, everything used by Samayam with the Sky Fury Totem. But a nice setup coming in from Method Black. Kidney Shot, Smoke Bomb. Sea-Doo trying to keep him alive with the Earthen Shield Totem, and that will be enough to deflect this attack.
Well-placed Earthen Wall Totem, but they overlap cooldowns. Barkskin and Earthen Wall, 2 for 1. 2-for-1 exchange will allow Method Black to have an opening, and Chaz has been able to regenerate his mana this time around. He's been able to outposition Method Orange, but Waz gets caught in center field. Pain suppression is going to likely be enough as Samayam's in trouble. No trinket, and he could easily fall. Darkness from Trill will protect Samayam and allow them to recover, but the crowd control is still coming. Trill ducks over. Big carry by Trill right there.
Sick play by Waz, though. The interrupt into the blind, almost landing them the kill. Trill saves the day, like you mentioned. That was the Icy Veins from Raikou as well. Samayam still not topped off. Sea-Doo has 15 seconds on his trinket. If they can get some CC right here, right now, there's no reverse magic available for Trill. No darkness. This could be the opportunity they need. Method Orange realizing the situation. To Method Orange credit, they always know when they're in trouble. They're always running away at the right times and able to survive.
Sea-Doo and Samayam pinned behind the pillar. Raikou unleashing an attack here, but Sea-Doo will recover in the protection of this Earthen Wall Totem. Trill jumping back to force Waz away. Every time Waz overextends, Trill is there to punish. And at any opportunity, if Chaz isn't careful, Waz could fall. Sea-Doo caught in a kidney shot. Waz holding that Vendetta, and whoa, where did this damage come from? Trinket Spirit Link from Sea-Doo. Vendetta still in the tank for Waz. Dark Archangel available for Chaz, and Sea-Doo is going to be cowering.
Yeah, Sea-Doo living at 5% HP there, trading out his Trinket and the Spirit Link. Samayam very vulnerable as well. Smoke Bomb is available in about a minute for Waz. Unfortunately, not going to be too many opportunities with that, with the cooldowns rotating up. But Samayam still low.
There it
Sea-Doo
is.
now caught into the kidney shot. Raikou looking to follow it up with some damage. But Waz, he can't play too aggressive in this situation. He's line of sighting Chaz. Trill realizing it. Method Orange looking to really punish Method Black for this aggressive play.
I'm very surprised to not see Waz pull the trigger on Vendetta there. Kidney shot with no cooldown. Sea-Doo could have easily just gone down, but Waz wants to play it patiently and look for a clinical precision kill, but it's so unlikely to have the perfect scenario that I feel like Waz is better off just going for it when he gets a good stun out of Ghost Wolf. Chaz moving in here. They commit the Vendetta, but Samayam peels Waz away. It's up to Raikou. Raikou and Chaz, more than enough to take Sea-Doo down. We're going to game 5.
We are going to game 5. Method Black with the kill over onto Sea-Doo. And I mean, after a series like this, so back and forward, so happy to see it going the full distance.
I mean, what else do you expect? We're in the upper bracket. We got Method versus Method, the 2 undefeated teams in this tournament going head to head. Of course, it's going to go to game 5.
Of course.
And it's all at the back of that blind play as well that Waz did, where he kicked Sea-Doo into that full blind, and then they did a setup onto Samayam with the kidney shot, and Sea-Doo was forced to trinket out there. Then they managed to find another opportunity later on with that Vendetta, where they could really land that kill. So great job by Method Black, great patience as well, doing that little fake at the end there, where Waz shadow stepped over to Sea-Doo, gets the kidney shot, doesn't commit his Vendetta, gets the Earthen Wall Totem, and then he applies all of his bleeds, gets Sea-Doo to about 70%, waits for Raikou, because Raiku's playing Kleptomania, by the way, so he can get that Ghost Wolf on every kidney shot. So waits for that Kleptomania, Raikou blinks in, gets the Ghost Wolf dispel, and there it is.
Yeah, they find the damage and ultimately find the kill, but unfortunately for Method Black, although they tied up the series, they threw away their lead they had on game number 1. Method Orange won that swing match, and now as Method Black, what do? Do you lock in the Rogue Mage Priest? If you do, I think it's easy for Mez to come back in on that Death Knight, get that advantage. Without Chaz on the Resto Druid backing him up, Raikou is going to be so vulnerable to that melee train.
I think it's definitely important to note that the way the format works, for those of you who aren't fully familiar, Method Orange will now have not only the map choice, they will also have composition choice with the full knowledge of what Method Black have locked in, which is what we mean by that blind pick. And Method Orange, with those advantages, having won the swing match earlier in this series, said, where would you like to see them pull us?
Hook point.
Hook point.
Hook point.
There we go.
Small map, deny the drinks, stack them up for triple Chaos Novas and just do insane damage. They could even play the Demon Hunter Death Knight on that map as well, although I think the Moonkin is looking a lot cleaner for them. It kind of depends on what Method Black lock in. If they go for the Restoration Druid, then it becomes really difficult to decide what the best option is for Method Orange. If they go for the Rogue Mage Priest, it becomes a little bit more obvious for Method Orange's selection, but I think a small map is the best move for Method Orange here, and yes, Hook Point going to be locked in.
Hook point is locked in indeed, and I mean, the stress here for both of these teams. What's on the line? If you win this game, you advance to the Grand Finals. You get to watch the next 4 series that will happen tomorrow completely free of all of that. You'll just be there waiting to find your opponents. If you lose this game, then everything here has been for nothing. You'll have to fight through that lower bracket and go through some of those teams like Skill Caps, like the Gosu crew. This map 5 is everything.
Yeah, this map 5 is going to decide everything. And I got to agree with Sid here. Method Orange, they have a great map selection here. Hook Point. Now, Method Black, they want to blind pick the Resto Druid, Assassination Rogue, and Frost Mage, but the fact that it's Hook Point now is making them think, well, maybe we should play the RMP. But if they do play the RMP, Method Orange, because they have the counter pick, will lock in the Death Knight, Demon Hunter, Resto Shaman most likely, and try to just out-survive what Method Black is doing. Burn Chaz out of mana. You have 2 tanky members on those melees, and that's it. I think Method Black should just lock in the RMD. The game on Dalaran didn't look too bad. There's still some areas on this map that you can abuse. You can run around in a big circle, similar to what they were doing on Dalaran, and that game definitely did still look winnable. If they don't do that, I would be surprised to see Method Black win with the RMP. Unless...
What about the secret composition?
Unless the secret composition gets brought out right now.
That'll be interesting. It's 8 seconds left, and one of the things...
The secret comp.
Yeah, I don't know what the secret comp is.
No one does except Zico.
I think we had some conversations about the secret comp, but we are going to see the Rogue Mage Druid coming out here for Method Black. One of the things I really want to touch on for Method Black is, in these high-intensity situations where the stress could not be higher, Swapsy is the one leading the communication. When you read those guys, they're having a big conversation, but Swapsy was the one talking the most when we saw them on the camera there. Even though he's not involved in the games, he is such an instrumental member to have on your team. And when you're playing against people like, Sea-Doo and Mez, who have been doing this year after year, having someone like Swapsy on your team who's been here, won it twice, looking to win it a 3rd time, the BlizzCon title, it's so useful. And Method Black, it must instill them with a lot of confidence. I
mean, there's no question about it. Swapsy, he's going to have a lot of knowledge, calm, cool, and collected. I think he's probably one of the most intelligent tournament players in this game. Like you said, in any given matchup, he would rather, he'd rather have the opportunity to have an advantage in the matchup instead of try to outplay his opponents. Of course, we see him consistently do both, but it's just really impressive to see, and it really keeps Chaz, Raikou, and Waz in check, making sure that they're running the optimal composition. We've seen Rogue Mage teams in the past get a little bit too confident with that setup when it necessarily isn't going to be the best. But I think Method Black, they have the right answer.
In this upper bracket, it's really morale that is on the line. If you can win this game, secure your spot in the grand finals, assert your dominance throughout the tournament, that morale could be just enough to carry that team all the way to that championship title. Method versus Method, game number 5. You couldn't ask for a better way to end the day.
Method Black have given us some fantastic series this tournament. The close games against Unitas to kick it off, then that intense series against the Gosu crew. They're looking to round it out here with a Game 5 victory against Method Orange. Waz, the self-proclaimed most mechanically skilled player in the world on that Rogue, playing against a team that is full of players that want that BlizzCon title more than anyone before. Sidu's been here 4 times. He's been getting closer each year. This could be his year to take it all. If he can win this game, it would be a huge step on that road, Zico. They are 1 game away from the grand final.
Yeah, and this is what Sidu has been fighting for ever since he lost to Swapsy 2 years ago in that final. And now, last year, he kind of was sitting here, you know, a little bit washed up with us here on the desk, but then now he's back in form. They look incredible, Method Orange, this year. We've been talking about it all year long, but even before Samayam was on this roster, just Trill and Mez looked so incredible with that Windwalker DK at the start of the year, and the journey has just been absolutely insane. Going from just playing those melee cleaves to adding Samayam to incorporating him and getting him off of that mage and onto things like the Boomkin. It's been a joy watching these guys grow, and now they are here. It's game number 5 against Method Black. It's their scrim partners that they have been practicing war games against the entirety of the tournament, that they've been sharing secrets with. Now they are enemies to the bitter end. There can only be one team that advances to the grand finals from this game, at least. Let's see who it is.
From ultimate practice partners to, as Zico confirms here, the biggest of rivals, apparently. The 2 Method teams. It's been a year in the making, folks. Europe's #1 against North America's #1. Method versus Method. Winner of this game advances to the grand finals. Let's hear it, folks. Let's hear it.
Game number 5, we get to celebrate another year of commitment. Will Sidu break the curse and advance to the grand finals, asserting dominance over multiple teams in this tournament? Crowd control initiated by Method Black. They are not afraid to get aggressive here early on in hook points, but no defensive cooldowns traded out. This initial attack has been completely thwarted.
Yeah, weren't really able to get anything rolling early on. There's a stun onto Chaz. Big setup. Chaz actually trinkets out. That was a scary moment. Samayam looking to get aggressive with the Incarnation. Drill now popping the Metamorphosis onto Raikou, getting some damage rolling. Samayam in a little bit of trouble as he's caught into the kidney shot, not activating the Barkskin or the Renewal. Method Orange playing it very cool. Sidu realizing he can keep his team alive and telling them they don't need to use anything.
This Incarnation trades effectively with Chaz's Incarnation Tree of Life. Both teams canceling each other out early on. Waz poking Sidu, trying to soften him up now, moving for a stun play. Raikou gets over in line of sight. Looks like it's a baited play. Sidu doesn't fall for it.
Yeah, Chaz once again positioning very far away, but there's really no spots on this map where he can sneak off for a drink that Trill can't stop him almost instantaneously. So Method Black, they're not going to have the mana advantage. It's going to be very unlikely. Chaz is going to be able to regen his mana at any point in this game. So Method Orange, they know that. They just have to survive, keep up the mana rifts on Chaz, keep up the damage, survive, rotate properly, and they will win the game.
Sidu locked down in a kidney shot. Samayam on the run. Chaz was trying to sneak for a drink, but Trill denies it, and that's very important for Method Orange late into the game to establish a significant mana lead and then overwhelm Method Black with tons of damage. Nice Chaos Nova by Trill onto 2 members. Raikou forced to retreat away, but damage follows it up. Star Surge connects. This is match point. Raikou hovering, low health. He's playing a dangerous game with Method Orange, but manages to get away with it.
Yeah, Temporal Shield will save the day. Close call for Raikou. Seen him make these moves in the past, and so far in this tournament, it's been working out. Nice setup onto Sidu as he gets taken down 50% HP, but like you were talking about, Sid, that Ghost Wolf recovery talent, when he's in Ghost Wolf, he's regenerating his health, and it's just so strong. basically means Sea-Doo has to die in a kidney shot or he won't be going down.
Yep, Raikou will have to set up those plays with Kleptomania, spell stealing all of Sea-Doo's buffs during an attack, but triple crowd control initiated here by Method Black. Sam-I-Am reading the situation, preempting it by being in that bear form, activates the Barkskin to trade for the attack, effectively diffusing the situation, but Method Black keep the chain going just that little bit longer, managing to get a 2-for-1 with that reverse magic from Trill. Potential opening for Raikou's Icy Veins moving forward. Chaz needs to start looking for drinks. He's ducking in the far back line. Who is going to deny it? Raikou actually falling behind amidst all of this. Smoke bomb dropped by Waz. Bit of a bait here. Earthen Wall Totem should be enough for Sea-Doo to stabilize, not overcommitting to the bait of Waz. Both teams evening out. It is likely that this game will go into dampening, but Method Orange are establishing that mana advantage.
Yep, they absolutely are. And these small pillars, they're very deceiving because although they're small, it is easy for Sam-I-Am and Sea-Doo to get around the pillars, avoid Raikou's damage. It just takes a few steps for them, get out of line of sight of the mage, stop all the damage Raikou is able to put out, and they can ultimately survive. Waz taking a little bit of pressure in the meantime. Sam-I-Am caught into the kidney shot, but Sea-Doo's there. He's able to back him up. There's no crowd control coming in from Method Black. Method Orange completely stabilizes.
Ooh, they go for a swap on Chaz. They manage to scare him enough that he trades his Gladiator's medallion. Could be an opportunity for Method Orange. Chaz slowly but surely falling behind on mana. Sam-I-Am repositioning with Sea-Doo to punish Waz from pushing in. They know that Waz is a threat right now with Vendetta available, so they're going to stack up as a team, get ready for that attack, defend it, but they've stacked up for too long. Chaz tries to sneak for a drink. Sam-I-Am denies the drink, so instead Method Black go for an attack. Sea-Doo down at half health, but with Earthen Wall Totem placed on his 2 members. Unlikely that he goes down in this position. Solar Beam interrupting Chaz. Waz falls behind. We're on match point, and Waz is overextended.
Yeah, he is. Uses the feint, able to avoid a little bit of damage. Sam-I-Am pushing in, looking for the bash. Can Method Black punish that aggressive play? Sam-I-Am down to the kidney shot. Sea-Doo into the blind. Will he trinket out? Will he sit it? Sam-I-Am using the Barkskin. Sea-Doo doesn't want to overlap defensives. Now into the sap. Still not trinketing out. Sea-Doo playing this very greedy. And if he has to use his trinket a little bit later on, now that it's not lined up with blind, that's an opportunity for Method Black.
Method Black keep the crowd control chain going, and Sea-Doo tries to make it out on the back end of this, and he manages to get away with it, which means that they can play a lot more aggressive. But amidst all of that, Chaz was actually able to drink and regenerate that mana right before dampening, keeping his team in the fight.
Yeah, very nicely done by Method Black. They find the perfect moments to go offensive. Chaz looking for drinks, not assisting his team in the offense. Raikou getting low. Temporal Shield should top him off. Sam-I-Am still caught into a kidney shot, and Method Black, they're really not looking for crowd control on Sea-Doo. They're just trying to build as much damage as possible, keep up the pressure, but I don't know if that's a game they're going to win.
I mean, at this point, it's still anyone's match here. Game 5 in the winner's final. The winner of this advances to the grand final tomorrow. Raikou getting bursted down. Tons of damage. Great Cyclone there at low health. Chaz getting pressured, and as we set into dampening, it will become increasingly difficult for either team to recover. Sam-I-Am gets bursted. Trill is locked down on the other side of the map. He can't support the team. Raikou sneaks in a polymorph. Trill pulls back to assist. Sam-I-Am ducking for cover. They do manage to break up the chain and start to stabilize. Waz overextended. Chaz pushes forward to save him. It is likely that he does not go down through Iron Bark. Now momentum, though, swinging in favor. Great crowd control by Waz, and Sam-I-Am in trouble. Sea-Doo trinkets, connects to Spirit Link just in time to stabilize, but now Vendetta available, and Sea-Doo is a wide open target.
I see an opportunity for Method Black in this matchup. If they can pull Trill off the pillar, Waz has the smoke bomb available. He has Vendetta. Trill has no trinket. All they would need is one clean setup, and I think if Chaz threatens the drink, they might be able to pull it off.
All right, Sea-Doo repositioning. Method Black have an opportunity here just to close this out. Sea-Doo preemptively Earthen Walls, expecting the attack, but Method Black hold on to it. They're playing it patiently. Perfect precision is what they need in this moment. They got 4 more seconds on Trill's trinket, 2 more seconds. That opportunity is starting to slip away. They commit to Sam-I-Am, denying the Incarnation Burst, but that window of opportunity to take down Trill has been lost. They're gonna have to rely on pure momentum now.
Yeah, DR kidney shot on Sam-I-Am. Unfortunately for Waz, he's not going to put out the pressure that he wants. Sam-I-Am getting interrupted, bursted down once again. Raikou finding damage with the Ray of Frost. But Sea-Doo not in crowd control, keeps him alive. Sam-I-Am and Sea-Doo rotating across the map. Chaz looking for a drink, pulling away. but it looks like Trill's going to be able to shut him down.
All right, Sea-Doo caught into a kidney shot. There's the vendetta being committed here by Method Black as they go straight after Sea-Doo. He's able to survive the stun and recover. Raikou pulling back, just using those blizzards to harass the opponents. Chaz, if he can sneak away for a drink, he absolutely needs to. His mana is looking very dire in this position, and Method Orange are establishing a significant lead. Burst towards Raikou, he polymorphs up Trill. Sea-Doo gets interrupted, he can't dispel it. It's a 3-on-1. Great setup by Method Black, forcing Barkskin from Samayam, and the Earthen Wall Totem pulling multiple defensive cooldowns in one attack. Method Black created another opportunity.
Nicely done. We are at 17% dampening. 2-2 tied series. Winner of this goes to the grand finals. This is an insane matchup. Sea-Doo caught into a polymorph. Reverse match is going to be used by Trill. Chaz activates the Barb Skin at around 20% mana. This is not looking good for a long game from Method Black.
Samayam locked down crowd control. Sea-Doo caught into a blind, and Method Black continued to keep up the heat. Samayam dips low. And just to duck for cover in bear form, but Chaz in position to get more crowd control. He gets interrupted by Trill. Good backup, but now Trill removed from the game as well. Comet Storm connects. Not enough to take Samayam down. Fell Eruption on Chaz. They make the swap. Huge damage. Chaz barely hangs on, but it's not enough. Sea-Doo's done it. He's going to the grand finals.
Sea-Doo has done it. Method Orange, though. We still have Samayam dropping low, but surely this is enough. Method Orange in Game 5 advance to the grand finals. They win the battle of the methods. We have our first grand finalist. It's the North American Method. Method Orange are our first team in the BlizzCon 2018 grand finals.
And they do it in style, bringing in Samayam, the young prodigy on this roster, and he looked phenomenal in that game, taking down Chaz with that big innervate onto Sea-Doo, stacks up his lively spirit, and then he goes for the swap together with Trill, and they do it so incredibly well. Chaz doesn't even have time to react before he is dead.
This is getting closer and closer to Sea-Doo's year to win BlizzCon here. He's one series away, one grand final away. But of course, he was here in 2016 as well. The job is not done, and he needs to finish it off tomorrow. Method Orange, or Method Black rather, could be another one of those teams that they meet tomorrow.
Botar's going home. He just took out Swapsy. They took out Skill Capped EU. We thought that series was going to decide the rest of the tournament.
The fragments are dispersing.
They're looking good.
They're looking very good. I think it's fair to say that we spent the last couple of hours establishing that they look very good. The crowd here, all of them staying until almost midnight local time here in Anaheim just to watch that series, and boy, what a great series it was. Benrique, I mean, as a former partner of Sea-Doo's, you must be so proud of them in this series.
It's just Method Orange, they have been taking this year more serious than ever. Sea-Doo said this team, this BlizzCon, it's felt like something else for them, and the amount of preparation and dedication this team has put in, you can really tell in their games. They seem very prepared, optimal strategies, executing, and that's why they're in the grand finals.
It's amazing in a series like that, where the 6 people on the map, I can't believe that none of them have ever won BlizzCon, but what's so great about that is that all of them are more hungry than anyone else here to win BlizzCon. We have some fantastic players here. They brought us amazing series, and it's worth noting as well that Method Black, they dropped down to that lower bracket, but they only need one series victory to go straight back into that final, potentially all-method affair. Could be something that we see, but Method Orange, they own the story, they own the bracket for today. They will advance to the grand finals with the 3-2 victory against Method Black. EU versus NA, they've been going back and forth all day, but Zico, as the other European on the desk, I gotta say, maybe North Americans got the better of us today.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what? I just like watching great World of Warcraft, and even before the series.
That's the NA answer. That's always what they say.
I gave the edge to Method Orange when the score was 0-0 because I thought that they were
That's not how that works.
Let's have a little look at this lower bracket.
I did not cop out, okay? And we didn't lose just yet.
It's not over yet, and you can see that here in the lower bracket. We have Method Orange sitting at the top, but we have some fantastic teams. Still 6 teams gunning for that BlizzCon, and that includes some teams we haven't seen for a little while. The Gosu crew, Method Black, Skill Capped EU, amongst others. This is going to be an absolutely killer day for tomorrow. I cannot wait to get into those games. 5 series separate us from the victory of BlizzCon for the Arena World Championship. But hey, that's not all that we have going for WoW Esports tomorrow. We also have, for the first time ever on the BlizzCon stage, the Mythic Dungeon Invitational All-Stars, featuring 4 of the best teams from the Mythic Dungeon Invitational Global Finals we saw earlier in the year. Of course, 2 Europeans on display here, Zico, as we will have Excel's Angels playing against Free Marcy, one of the biggest teams, of course, from the APAC region, and then we have Method NA against Method PogChamp, EU vs NA there. Some fantastic games. We're really looking forward to that. Of course, Mythic Dungeon Invitational, Arena World Championship. The schedule for tomorrow is packed.
Yeah, we're gonna kick things off with the Gosu Crew versus Making a Movie. Follow that up with Skill Capped versus Pen and Paper, and then lower semis, etc.
It's going to be a crazy day, and we are ready for it. Everyone here is waiting and ready for the champions of the MTI and the Arena World Championship, but the day belongs to Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo, Mez, Trill, and Samayam are the team advancing to the global finals. We've been through so many games today, 9 series total, so many best of 5s that have gone the full distance, so many tiers broken, teams eliminated, 6 have gone home, only 6 remain. Botar is out of BlizzCon 2018, but we have 2 methods remaining. Can't wait for it. We'll see you tomorrow.